Hey y'all, some of you might recognize me from a previous channel that I did called Average Amy. I since abandoned that. Really never expected to be doing this again. I did not want to be another voice in the sea of voices that you see on Facebook and YouTube and all the other numerous social medias. There was already so many people that were speaking, and I didn't want to confuse people, so I chose to step away. However, God had other plans, and I guess he wanted to resurrect a channel to new life, because I assure you, I am not the woman that I was for that first channel. Lots have happened since then. When he called me back to this, I told him I was willing, but I had no idea what I was going to talk about, as I really didn't have anything new to share. And as you can tell by the video, he gave me something new to share. Modesty is obviously something that most of the Christian, or most of the better religious, have never really respected about me. That is not something that the religious women that I've come across would say I was good at. It has been a source of turmoil in my walk, something I've wrestled with a lot, especially since, I assure you, my modesty has come leaps and bounds from what it was before Christ. Anybody who knows me can testify to that. I prayed on this about a year and a half ago, when I really started, maybe even longer than that, when I really started with what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the backlash of my modesty journey, people looking down on me because of the way I dressed, people accusing me of being immature in the faith, some people accusing me of not having faith, some people accusing me of not being holy, some of them telling me that there's no evidence of the Holy Spirit on me because of the way I dress. And it's funny, because their words don't necessarily say that, but the root of where it's coming from does. So when the one with the maturity was actually verbatim, but there have been others that have looked upon me and just kind of scoffed at me and put their nose down at me, and it really caused me to stumble, question myself a good bit, especially since fashion has always been so important to me. It's something that was very near to me. It was something my grandmother really instilled in me, who has since passed away, and it's kind of a connection that I have with her. And so fashion is really important to me. And so when I started praying about modesty, I had asked God, if sin is a heart condition and it's rooted somewhere, then where is immodesty rooted? Because all I could really see was it really just talks about the physical aspect of it. Don't adorn yourself with pearls and, cover yourself up. Paul tells us that. And I prayed on it one day, and I asked God, what is it? And what he taught me, and what he continues to teach me, is something that I've never heard taught before. And this is not my ideas. This is what I've learned directly from Christ. When I said the first prayer, I asked him that, he said that it's a pride issue. It is a manipulation issue. And it is, when he says to dress modestly, he's telling us to be humble in speech, humble in appearance. He's telling you not to lift yourself up on a pedestal and, look at me in your attire. Look how beautiful I am. Look at me. This spoke to me because it gave me freedom, because it allowed me to continue to walk in a way that I was comfortable with in my attire. oftentimes if I cover myself up, I feel more exposed than if I dress the way I'm comfortable with. And so I continued to walk and just trust him that he would convict me if I wore something that I wasn't supposed to, or I guess it's not about wearing. I trusted he would convict me if the reason I was wearing it was anything other than for his glory and for my comfort. If I was getting dressed to get the attention of somebody, then I trusted he'd convict me, because that's what it's about. You know, modesty is about dressing not to get attention. It's, you know, or cause somebody to lust after you, or even not to lust after you. And that kind of goes into what he taught me the other day about manipulation and modesty. And I dreamt, I'm a dreamer. Anybody who watched my previous YouTube channel knows this. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a dreamer. And I dreamt about a Facebook post. Excuse me while I take a drink of coffee. I dreamt about a Facebook post, and there was a woman who posted and was asking for help from her friends that said, you know, how do I keep men from lusting after me? How do I keep them from looking at me? How do I keep their attention from me? And a comment that was made on the post was, she said it was the first post, and then I just remember in the dream there was a lot of comments, and I thought, wow, that's man, she's getting a lot of attention for this. And the first comment was, that's easy, just cover up, just wear more clothes. And if that doesn't work, just keep wearing more clothes. And in my spirit, I wanted to comment back to that woman that that's a form of manipulation. When I woke, God spoke to me about what manipulation is. And he said manipulation is trying to control or alter another person's thoughts, feelings, or emotions in order to get the desired response that you want. You're playing God. When he taught me about this, something he taught me a long time ago was that manipulation is witchcraft. So anytime you try to manipulate somebody, whether because you want to protect them or because you're trying to be malicious, they're both witchcraft. It really doesn't matter. Unfortunately, as humans, we don't understand it. And I do believe that some people who manipulate have good intentions. Maybe ill-placed, but good intentions nonetheless. And he began to talk to me about, because I prayed, because I started getting a little backlash that I wasn't dressing appropriately, and I was finding myself in my closet going, how do you dress for somebody else's convictions, God? I don't understand. What am I supposed to wear? The things that I was wearing, I didn't think were over the top or, overly revealing. And all I could think of is what am I supposed to wear? I can't go out and buy an entirely new wardrobe because I make people uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. And I do believe that this was an answer to my prayer. And so when he was telling me I just need to dress for his glory and for him. When I get dressed, if I dress with anybody else in mind, I'm doing it wrong. He should be who I have in mind when I'm getting dressed in the morning, not anybody else, not the religious women who tell me that I am immodest, or the men who lust after me. Men lusting, and I know a lot of women feel responsible, that it's our responsibility to protect our brothers from lusting after us. And I don't think that if they have a lust issue, covering yourself up is not going to suddenly heal him of that lust issue. If he has a lust issue, he needs to address that with God, not you. And it's not your responsibility to keep him from doing that, because you're not going to. Sure, you might keep him from lusting after you, and I'm not even convinced that's going to be the thing, because I'm pretty sure if he's attracted to you, he's going to be attracted to you. I don't think there's anything you can do to prevent him from being attracted to you. Even if you cover yourself up, Every man I've ever spoken to actually says women in sweatpants with no makeup on and their hair in a bun is actually more attractive than a woman walking down the street revealing everything she's got. So I just really want to bring something that plants seeds and brings the burden off of women. Your body is not a sin. And, if you're revealing it for attention, then yes, you're sinning. If you're covering it for attention, you're sinning. And I do believe that there are religious women out there that dress modestly to get the attention and to get the, oh my gosh, you're just so modest, that praise. And that's the same sin. A sin is a sin. And I'm not saying that if you're sinning, you're going to hell and God's abandoned you. No, I'm saying that if these are issues, there's a root issue, and you really need to address the root before you can address the physical. You can tell somebody until you're blue in the face, you need to dress more modestly. You need to dress more modestly. But if you're not helping that person find the root cause of it, you are not helping them. You are just making it worse. You are reaping shame on them. Something God taught me a while ago, because I think a lot of people struggle with, what's the difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction is explaining to somebody how to get to heaven, and condemnation is explaining to somebody why they're going to hell. So if you are pointing out their sins, all you're doing is explaining why they're going to hell. But if you're pointing them to Jesus, you're going to help convict them. You're not going to convict them. Only Christ can do that. So I urge you that if you are getting dressed today, women who maybe have had experiences like mine, where if you've been shamed for the way you dress, even though when you get dressed, you're not thinking, oh, how can I get attention today? Just trust God's going to convict, trust God is going to protect, and trust God is going to provide. So if your wardrobe is inappropriate, He will provide a way for you to get a new one. If you are being scrutinized by the religious in the church, trust that He's going to protect you. And I just want to point you back to Christ. When you get dressed in the morning, dress for who God created you to be, not for the attention of men, women, or anybody else. Dress for you. And I hope that this sets somebody free today, because I know that it helped me a great deal. It took a burden off of me that I don't have to dress according to somebody else's conviction, and it is not my responsibility to fix somebody else's sin. But if you are struggling with lust, my heart does break for you. Like, welcome to the club. We've all struggled with something. You are not alone, I assure you. And I just would encourage you to seek Christ and to understand the root cause of that lust. Don't just focus on the lust. Don't get trapped in the sin. That's the trick of the devil. Don't get trapped there. Oh, I'm lusting. I'm such a horrible person. How am I going to come out of it? And that it weighs you down. But if you come out of that and you say, God, where is this rooted? Help me to uproot this. Help me to understand where this is coming from so that I may heal from it. So I really hope this helps encourage somebody today. I'm going to post this before I lose courage. And I wish you guys the best Wednesday ever. Thank you.